Lee County 4 H seeks to find out how to determine if your package of seeds will grow plants. You need 10 seeds of each type being tested, paper towels, water, a sealable plastic bag, and a permanent marker. I'm Pam Curley, and here is Minda to tell us more.
The first thing we want to do is moisten a sheet of paper towel. Shouldn't be a whole lot. It shouldn't be dripping wet, just uniformly damp. If your paper towel falls apart when it gets wet, use 2 sheets, one on top of the other. Make sure your surface is clean before you lay out your paper towels. Smooth them out. You're going to be placing the seeds on top of them. Place the 10 seeds in a row along the damp paper towel. Make sure to allow some space between the seeds for the seed radicle and hypocotyl to grow out. In this next step, you'll want to roll or fold the paper towel around the seeds. Want the moisture from the paper towel to contact each seed. Place the paper towel into the plastic bag and seal it. Write the date on the plastic bag so there's no guesswork involved. If you are testing more than one type of seed, also label the bag with the seed type and variety. Good quality seed packets will have all the information printed on the packet, including the plant name, both the common name and the botanical name for accurate identification. It may also have information on the days for the seeds to emerge after sowing, and it should indicate the depth to sow the seed. The packet may include seed spacing information for how far apart to plant the seeds themselves and how far apart planting rows should be so the plants have enough room to grow. While seeds may look similar, they may grow at different rates, depending on the variety. Comparing the results between them may just surprise you. Different seed producing and packaging companies have different methods. Some may include extra additives. These may change your results. The germination test is a good way to investigate what is likely to happen in your garden. So be sure to look at your seed packet very carefully. Over time, these additives may act differently as their chemical components degrade or otherwise change. You may not realize what the chemistry actually is. One thing to note about tomato seeds or other seed types that have a gelatinous covering when they're fresh is that the covering, when dried, may cause those seeds to stick together. Try to separate them if this is the case, or you may have both seeds germinate in the same space. That will cause them to crowd each other out and act like weeds. Place the plastic bag somewhere warm, about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. A sunny windowsill or on top of the refrigerator should work. It's a good idea to place your hand up there just to make sure you understand if it's a warm place or if it isn't. Make sure that it's someplace that you will be able to remember to check on them. After about 7 days, start checking for germination by unrolling the paper towel. You may even be able to see sprouting through the paper towel, as you see here. Very often, the roots will grow right through it. Check your seed packet for average germination times for your particular seed, but generally, 7 to 10 days should be enough time for the test. Some seed types take longer, or other prep techniques to get moisture into the seed to start germination are required. After about 10 days, unroll the paper towel and count how many seeds have sprouted. This will give you the percentage germination you can expect from the remaining seeds in the packet. If only 3 sprouted, it is a 30% germination rate. 7 would be a 70% germination rate. 9 would be a 90% germination rate, and so on. When you open up the paper towel, you will be able to see the seed radicle, which will become the root, and the hypocotyl, which will become the lower part of the stem. You even see the cotyledons, the leaf-like structures of the plant embryo, also called the seed leaves. Be very gentle handling your germinated seeds, as you want to avoid breaking any of these tender structures. You don't have to waste the seeds that have germinated. They can be planted. Don't let them dry out. Be very careful. You don't want to break off the roots or the growing tip. In fact, it's often easiest to just cut the paper towel between the seeds and plant the seed, paper towel, and all. If the root has grown through the towel, it is almost impossible to separate them without breaking that root. The paper towel will rot quickly enough, and in the meantime, it will help hold water near the roots. If it will be a little while before you can plant the seeds, make sure that you add just a little bit of air into the bags before you put them back on top of the warm refrigerator or the other warm space in order to make sure that they don't get squashed. Examine the seeds for viability as you unroll them from the paper towel. If something doesn't look right, you need to remove those seeds from the ones that you planted. If it doesn't look right, it could infect all the seeds you're trying to germinate. In these seeds, you can actually see some root hairs developing off the radicle. These are the ones that are probably going to do well for you in the garden. So carefully cut the good seeds away from the bad seeds so you'll have some material to plant. The seeds that didn't germinate or are not viable for some reason, reduce your germination rate. Now you can calculate how many extra seeds to plant from that packet to end up with the total number of plants that you need to get into the garden. Let's take a look and see what you actually end up with. For each plant species will be a bit different. Pea plants will be different than tomato plants. Varieties of plants within the same species may be different in terms of the characteristics that they show. Heirloom tomato plants may have different growth characteristics than hybrid varieties. Some may be stronger growers than others. This is something to think about in addition to flavor when selecting seeds for your garden. It may not look like it, but seeds are alive and need certain conditions to remain so. Excessive heat or cold can kill the seed embryo, and too much humidity or moisture will cause them to mold or rot. Realistically, if less than 70% of your test seed germinated, you would be better off starting with fresh. If 70 to 90% germinated, the seed should be fine to use, but you should sow your seeds a little thicker than you normally would. If 100% of your seeds germinated, well, lucky you. Your seed is viable and you're ready to plant.
4-H is a youth community with programs that suit a variety of backgrounds, interests, budgets, and schedules. From in-school to after-school, clubs to camps, 4-H's positive youth development programs are here in Lee County, and we welcome children who want to have fun, learn, and grow. If you enjoyed today's activity, we hope you'll check out all that Lee County 4-H has to offer at lee.ces.ncsu.edu.